Welcome back. It is Wednesday, December 7th in the NBA. My four favorite picks are on the way. Let's recap Monday first. A 3-in-1 day. Mikal Bridges, our best bet of the day, goes under 16.5 points. Drew Holiday, under 18.5 points. And we had Jabari Smith Jr., over 18.5 PRAs. Even got a double-double, which I mentioned you could play at plus 1,200 odds. Our only loss was the Hawks, minus 5.5. Now, obviously, we did not have a video yesterday. If you can't tell, still a little bit under the weather. I appreciate all your guys' kind words that you said yesterday in yesterday's community post. We're back after it. There's a big slate on Wednesday. I couldn't miss out on it. So we haven't had a losing day in December yet. Let's try not to do that today. We're on a 5 straight winning day. Let's keep it going. If you are new to our channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button. I promise I don't sound like this every single day, but we're going to keep getting into it. Let's close in on 58,000 subscribers. All right. Now I will mention this a couple times this week, but PrizePicks currently has a free square live. It's for Justin Herbert to throw one passing yard. Even if you don't bet the NFL, that is a quarterback, and he's going to get that done. So you can add that free square to any of your parlays, and boom, you already got a free leg down. Also, if you sign up using our code COS or the link down below in the description, you get a 100% deposit match. So you get the free square, you get a 100% deposit match. It's free money. Take advantage of it. I'm going to mention it a couple more times throughout the week. Obviously, Herbert does not play until Sunday, but take advantage of PrizePicks. Thank you for sponsoring the video. But let's hop into our best bet of the day. It's been on a pretty decent run recently. It's a guy that we love on the channel. His name is Jaren Jackson Jr., taking us over 17.5 points, minus 113 on FanDuel. Now, if you want to go out there and bet JJJ, as I'll abbreviate his name to JJJ, if you want to bet his over in PRAs or points plus rebounds, I'm certainly fine with that. His last game, we know the Thunder give up a ton of rebounds, opposing power forwards and centers, and last game against them, he had 12 rebounds. I just don't really like trusting JJJ to go out there and grab rebounds. Some game, the guy just runs away from him, and he tries to block a ton of shots. But let's talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., because he's been pretty kind to us. I think we're 3-0 on his props, maybe 4-0, but earlier this season, we took his over against the Thunder, who he again sees today. He had 25 points in 25 minutes. So JJJ, obviously that was like his second game back, but look, he's going to play close to 30 minutes if he can avoid foul trouble, and over the last 7 games, he's been pretty good, averaging 21.1 points per game on 13 field goal attempts, and he gets to the free throw line a good amount, 6.7 free throw attempts per game. Now, he's over this line in 6 of those last 7 games. The one miss was the game he scored 16 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We know Rudy Gobert, although Rudy's been pretty bad as of late, but we know Rudy Gobert, one of the best rim protectors in the league. JJJ shoots a good amount of threes, but also goes to the rim. That's how he draws a bunch of fouls. But in his last 5 matchups versus the Thunder, scored 25, 18, 15, 27, and 20 points, going over in 4 of those 5 games. The over-under is 232, so expecting a lot of points. Now, Desmond Bane, it's interesting. We haven't heard an injury report on him, but I don't anticipate him being out there, and even if he does come back, which he will randomly come back one of these days, still don't see him playing a big role in the offense just immediately. Look, JJJ is going to go out there. It's going to be him, Dylan Brooks, Ja Morant. Those are going to be the 3 guys that are shooting the ball a good amount. And before you come down below in the comments, when you see JJJ get subbed out after the first 5 minutes, don't be surprised. That's what they do. They play him the first 4 to 5 minutes, sub him out, and then he's kind of the big go-to guy in that second unit, which is kind of what we'd rather. We don't want him playing a ton of his minutes with Morant. Obviously, Morant, high usage guy. So give me JJJ, best bet of the day, 1.5 units on his over, 17.5 points. Hopefully, we can move to like 4-0 on JJJ's props. Now, as for my game pick of the day, I think we might have lost 1 or 2 of these in a row, but I'm going to this team, Phoenix Suns, and I'm taking them on the money line, currently plus 108 on FanDuel. Now, this might seem crazy to you as they're playing the best team arguably in the NBA with the Celtics, who are like 20-5, but I think they're tired of giving out free money on the Celtics, because the last 2 games, I think the Celtics, given the line, if you're doing some line reading, the Celtics probably should have lost those games against whoever they put. I believe they took on the Raptors in one of those games. I don't remember the other one, but I just don't think they're giving out free money on the Celtics, who people claim to be the best team in the league. And I really like this Phoenix Suns team in a bounce back spot. Now, they look at last year, they played twice. Both teams won at home. Obviously, Phoenix is at home in this one. The Suns lost by 15 on the road in Boston last year. The Suns won by 21 at home. Now, the Suns are coming off a great, an absolutely terrible game. This is a great bounce back spot for them because they lost by 19 to the Dallas Mavericks. And you look at this season, Phoenix been the best team against the spread, and in general, coming off a loss, 7-0 against the spread after a loss. And while we are taking the money line, it essentially is taking the spread, which is about plus 1.5. I like Phoenix. They're at home where they're 12-2. Boston 9-3 on the road, just straight up. Celtics offense has been coming. First in offensive rating. Right behind them is the Suns at second. But then the defense is where these 2 teams differ, because the Celtics have just been outscoring people. But Celtics are 16th in defensive rating. The Suns are 6th. So I think the defense comes here. I think this is a pretty big performance for the Suns. Big time game at home. I think they show up in front of their home crowd. Give me the Suns, who might also get Chris Paul back. I don't think they really need him in this one, but it would be nice if he's out there. Give me CP3 and the Suns. If he does return, we're taking them on the money line. Plus 108. A little bit of a plus value for a home dog. Now let's move on. 2 more player props. And we've definitely bet on both of these guys before. 1 over and then the under of the day. Going to this guy. Paolo Banchero, over 20.5 points, minus 104 on FanDuel. If you want to lay more juice, I don't mind betting him like 20 plus points because he does have the tendency to end on 20 on the dot. But I like Banchero, and he was awesome for us earlier this season. If you've been watching these videos for a hot minute, you remember in his first ever game, he was, I think, our best bet of the day. We took his over 13.5 points. He crushed it. We kept taking his over, and then the books were like, oh, this guy's actually good. And they started raising his lines like 22.5, 23.5. So that's why I haven't been betting his lines, but I really do like this one. We haven't bet his props in a minute, but I think he's going to come back and give us some good juju here as the Magic are at home taking on the LA Clippers. And I know Kawhi Leonard, Paul George should be out there, but I think any rookie, and Banchero, the number 1 overall pick, wants to show up against the best of the best. So I think he might be guarded by Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. I don't think it really matters. I think he's going to go out there and play pretty aggressive. And Banchero is actually under this line in 2 straight games. Now, I played the Toronto Raptors, only scored 9 points, I think on 2 for 8 shooting. Sure, Toronto's one of the best defensive teams in the league. And then last game, he only scored 20 points, landed on the hook under this one. And that was against Milwaukee, a game he shot 4 for 16 off great rim protection. Now, Clippers do not have that great rim protection. And in fact, on the season, you look at Banchero, averaging 21.7 points per game. Now, Clippers, like I said, don't have great rim protection. Over the last couple of games, it's been even worse, giving up 56 points per game in the paint in the last 3 games. If they allowed that on the season, that would be the second most in the NBA. And the Magic are still down a lot of guys. They might have gotten Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony back, but still down guys like Gary Harris, Wendell Carter Jr., Chuma Okeke, or Okeke, I don't know how they pronounce his name, and Jalen Suggs. All those guys are still out. So Banchero, regardless of how he's playing, he should go out there and play 30, 35 minutes in this game. What projects to be a close game. We've seen the Clippers been giving up 20 plus points to a lot of different guys. You saw the last game against the Hornets. You saw Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, and PJ Washington, who had like 28 points against the Clippers. I think we're going to see a guy like Banchero. If anyone's going to score 20 points for the Magic, it's likely going to be him. He hasn't gone under this line in 3 straight games all year long. I don't think he starts that tradition today. Give me Banchero, over 20.5 points for his 1 unit. Paolo, I love you. Go get it done. Now, my final play of the day, we might add one added play. We'll talk about it. I'll talk about that play in a second. But it's going to be our under of the day, and it's Jalen Brunson. Taking his under 32.5 points, rebounds, assists, PRAs, minus 120 on DraftKings. Now, this is playable at 31.5, and if you need an individual line, I do lean his under 22.5 points is probably the bigger line that I would rather take the under on. And Brunson, the Knicks are at home taking on the Hawks, and I know everyone and their mother is going to be on Trae Young's over, so I'd rather just kind of avoid it, although I don't think Trae Young has a bad game. I think he plays pretty well in MSG, but on the year, you look at Brunson, he's averaging 21 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and 6.3 assists per game. So 30.7 PRAs per game, which is, 2.5 lower than what he needs to get today. Now, over the last 4 games, we saw Brunson have a hot streak maybe earlier on in the middle of November, but then over the last 4 games, really struggling. He's under in all 4 with 29, 18, 27, and 22 PRAs. So the Knicks also have faced the Hawks before, and Brunson had 20 points, 1 rebound, and 5 assists. Now, I take PRAs instead of just points because Brunson could go out there and get 25 points, but he might not get a lot of rebounds, might not get a lot of assists, and that's why I'd rather take the PRAs for this specific one. And, the Hawks are a little bit different than they have been in years past. Now, last year, if you're just looking at point guards, shooting guards against them, you would have just hammered all the overs, but this year, their defense has been a little bit better, and in fact, the Hawks, since they got DeJounte Murray, still getting the 6th fewest points per game to point guards this year. So, they've been actually pretty good defending opposing point guards, and the main reason I'm here, though, is Brunson's minutes aren't a guarantee. He's a liability defensively, and the Knicks are fully healthy for the most part without Ryan Arcidiacono and Keels off the bench. They're basically fully healthy. And so if Brunson and the starting unit comes out here and plays poorly, he could get benched. We've seen Tom Thibodeau do that time and time again. Emmanuel Quickley's healthy. Derrick Rose is out there. Miles McBride. All these guys can get minutes over Jalen Brunson if the game just doesn't go his way. If Brunson's also always a liability for foul trouble, wouldn't be surprised to see the Hawks try to take advantage of his defense or lack thereof and go ISO on him, trying to get him into ball screens and make him have to guard Trae Young or DeJounte Murray. So look, Brunson, I think he's decent. I think he's pretty good. I like what I've seen out of him for my New York Knicks this year, but I don't really like this matchup. This doesn't suit well for him against 2 opposing guards who he's going to have to go out there and guard one of those 2 guys. So give me Jalen Brunson under 32.5 PRAs. Now, those are my 4 plays of the day. I actually think if I were to add a play, I was looking at Chris Middleton. He doesn't have a line, but I think Chris Middleton plays pretty well today against the Kings, but don't really know when he'll get a line. It's like 14.5 points. I think he can get that done, but we'll see. I don't really think I want to add a play, but we'll see. Later on tonight, you'll see our Thursday Night Football video come live, and of course, it's time to shout out some COS All-Stars. We're going for our 6th straight winning day. Here's a couple new All-Stars. Appreciate you guys, as always, for supporting the channel. We got Alex, we got Kyle, we got Matt, we got Corey, we got OEL? I don't know. Taylor, Eye Candy, Jesse, Dashi Dews, we got Jay, we got Alexis, Igor, Lever, Justin, Austin, love the name, Mimi, Meme, Walker, Deshaun, Anja, Jim, Shane, Josh, Degsta, and Mateus. Appreciate you guys so much for supporting the channel. We can't do it without you guys. As a reminder, PrizePicks has that free square. You can go down below, use the link down below in the description, or use code COS for 100% deposit match and take advantage of that free square. I'll let you guys know exactly how I'm using that in the parlays and player props video live on Saturday for the NFL. But my name's Austin. Let's hope I feel a little bit better on tomorrow, but appreciate you guys as always for tuning in and showing so much love on the channel. Can't do it without you guys' love and support. 4 plays, 4 winners, 6 straight winning day. See you guys back in tomorrow. Peace.